I remember several years ago, I went to preach in a church, and I was much slimmer than this. I was about half of my size. And I went to preach in a certain country. I won't mention the country. Then, when I went there, my host who invited me had forgotten I was coming. And he also traveled. That is how much he underestimated me. Then when I got there, the associate pastors, I found myself to where they were, because they didn't even know I was coming. And it was a strange part of the country. I got there, they said, oh, our general overseer has been talking about you, but unfortunately he's traveled and he's not here. We will give you the Sunday morning and we'll give you 45 minutes to say something small. And I said, no problem. And I didn't look like a preacher. I looked like a refugee who had come from somewhere. They just looked at me, they looked at everything. They said, oh, we hear you come from a certain part of Ghana. Is it Boga? Then they'll pretend they can't pronounce Bogatanga. They say, Bogalanga, something. I said, it's Bogatanga, because these people, they can pronounce Kuala Lumpur. They can pronounce it, but they cannot pronounce Bogatanga. I said, no problem. Then they took me to a certain place to stay. And the place they took me to stay, the tiles on the floor were all ripped off. The bathroom cage was very small. And when I tried to bath from a bucket with water, anytime I tried to bend down, then my backside would be hitting the wall. So I had to incline myself at an angle of, I don't know, whether 90 degrees or whatever. I couldn't bend 90 degrees. So I had to go some angle so that I could wash down. Then they came to me, and then when they came, they said, oh, where did I go to Bible school? What has that got to do with my being here? Then I said, oh, I didn't go to Bible school. I'm a pharmacist by training. I trained as a pharmacist, and then God called me to the ministry. Then they switched to the Hausa language. That will give you a guess of the country I was in. They switched to the Hausa language, and they said, oh, Shimutum Bubani, it means he's a big man. Tibu Mutum Bubani, he's a big man. We have to change where he's sleeping because he's a big man. Just because I said pharmacist. Pharmacist suddenly changed the way I look. It changed the Bogatanga. It changed everything. Common pharmacist. And they had not examined my certificate. So even if I was lying, they wouldn't know. They didn't examine my certificate, didn't examine my license. But I just told them pharmacist. They said they were going to change my place. Then they now switched to English. And they said, oh, this is not the place they were supposed to keep me, but where they were supposed to keep me was a nicer place than this. But the driver made a mistake and brought me here. And I'm listening to these liars. Then finally they said they are going, but they'll come and pick me up and take me to where I'm supposed to be. Then I said, oh, Shea Anzuma, Nagenuku. I said, later I will see you in the Hausa language. Then, can I join Hausa? You speak Hausa? I said, Kadam Kadam. Oh, they now didn't know whether to go up, sink in the ground, stand or whatever. But by people, I live in Boga. I come from there. I come from a village called Damoltondong. Then I live in Boga. And I grew up there. And I'm still there. And when I finish with this convention, I'm going back to Boga.